Most financial planner are in fact retirement planner, because they will show you that in order to achieve your retirement, you have to follow a roadmap and you accumulate enough nest egg so that it can last for your lifetime. So mostly financial planning, they're doing this for you. So for that planning, you will have some assumptions that you need to make. So there are a few that I'm going to talk about today in this video. So the first generic advice normally people get is to diversify your portfolio when it comes to investment. So typically in Malaysia, you will invest in a few places like EPF, PRS, unit trust, and even insurance. So when you don't know how to invest in certain asset class, so it really makes sense when you diversify your portfolio, have an asset allocation set every asset class. But the problem is, I seldom see very rich people who become rich because they own a lot of EPF, or they have a lot of insurance, or they have a lot of unit trust. Most people who get rich, they actually very focused on a certain asset class. They probably get rich through stock investing, or they do business and get their company IPO, and also probably they will invest in a lot of real estate. Those are the people who actually really accumulate a lot of wealth. And the second generic advice people get is to pay down your debt as soon as possible. So you want to get debt free. When you want to do that, you put every cent you have inside your mortgage, try to pay it down as soon as possible, so that you don't have the commitment to pay the monthly installments. But this advice might work in the older generation because they used to pay very high interest for mortgage. But in recent year, more than a decade, that we already have a very low interest rate, and that makes the saver become the losers because the money in the banks simply don't generate enough return. And while the other asset class are due to fiat money and stuff, the assets already appreciate a lot, much faster than the interest rate you pay for your mortgage. So that's why you see still a lot of rich people, they actually have a lot of debt even though they have a lot of money. 因為而家我哋睇個 C 嚟佢哋講 C， 可唔得太近啦，佢走喎，你先睇到我哋嘅。Thirdly is about the compound interest. If you want to see compound interest work, is wonder. But the problem is that any mediocre asset, if it is compounded over a very long time, you still see a very big number at the end. So for example, like insurance plan that's compounded at 4 or 5% return a year, it goes for 30 years and you still see a big figure at the end, and you thought that this is a very good investment. But actually it's not. For example, if you compound a fixed deposit of 10,000 ringgit over 30 years, you will end up with like 24,000. But if you compound the same amount of money, 10,000 ringgit, for 30 years, but with 12% return every year, then the end figure is 300,000. So 300,000 compared to 24,000, that is a lot of difference. If you have the knowledge to calculate compound interest rate, then you understand the big difference of even like a few percentage of difference. You have a very big difference at the end figure. Don't fall for all the mediocre kind of assets. Even though it compound very long time, it actually do more harm than good for your money. The fourth wishful thinking is that you're hoping that your 30 years plan is going to be working. But what if it doesn't work? This kind of happened right during like 2008 subprime crisis. It wiped out a lot of retirees' money in the stock markets. But the problem is not about the stock volatility or you don't know how to invest in stock. The problem is that you are not going to have another 30 years to redo everything again. 有冇？有一隻。一隻兩隻好細喎。So I want you to realize that the missing part of your financial plan is that it is very important to invest your time, effort and money to things that you can see immediate result. That means you are going to gain right now. So what's the best investment you can do is actually to improve your capability, right? Your ability to sell, your ability to provide more value, your ability to be creative, your ability to be able to make a lot of money. I think that is very important piece of financial advice you should be working on. Hi, my name is Casey Lau. I'm a financial educator. I started my website since 2006 and I do webinar every week since 2012. So I get a lot of financial experts in their own field like unit trust, property investment, insurance, stock investment. They come on my webinar every week to teach you, and you can attend all of it live for free. I would like to invite you to get on my email list so that you can get the invitation to attend all this training and achieve financial success for yourself.